Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate. There were strong submissions made to the Constitutional Commission at the Lami Catholic Hall today. Some have called for the return of the 1997 Constitution, while there's been a suggestion that Itauke should be our national language. Fusita Kote Wasawasa has been following the hearings.
Fijians speaking before the Commission say there was nothing wrong with the 1997 Constitution, but there are improvements which should be considered for the future.
I think the 1997 Constitution should be reinstated, but with amendments made to certain clauses.
Should there be any changes to be incorporated and to be formulated in the new Constitution? Because character of 1997 Constitution to remain.
There were also calls to adopt Itauke as the official language of Fiji.
Fijian language to become our national language and to be taught at primary school up to the university level. For everybody who wishes to be citizen of Fiji must make an effort to understand.
Anyone who wishes to become a Fijian national, they should try to learn the Itauke language. It should be national language of the country.
One Fijian touched on an issue that's being debated around the world. Should Fiji legalize same-sex marriages?
In my belief, it is not right to have same-sex marriages. I wonder where that law came from.
It's issues like this at the very heart of our society which will decide the direction that we take as a nation. Fusita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Meanwhile, other contributors have questioned the need for immunity. The Constitution Commission heard today that people need to be held accountable if the coup culture is to be removed. Others want clarity on what is a secular state.
The majority of Fijians are Christians, and there has been a long-held belief we should be a Christian state. But do people really know what it means to be a secular state?
A secular state.
To have a secular state would mean that we would lose our values and the importance of our religion from 1835 until today.
We can have a secular state which is inclusive of everybody. We currently have that, like I say, but if the idea is to have a state with no values, then that I don't think that's the option for us.
Sepesa Niumatewalu has been witness to 4 coups in his lifetime. It may have tainted his view of the disciplined forces.
I think we should get people from outside to lead RFMF and the Fiji police force. When we lead, there is instability.
The immunity provision is a given. It'll be in the Constitution no matter what. But that hasn't stopped people from speaking against it.
I think of immunity to be built into the Constitution. I do not agree completely. This has to be out. It's not to be put in there. If we grant immunity to be part of the Constitution, the coup will continue in Fiji until the Lord comes back to take us home.
There is a demand, so we're supplying. So we might as well try and find a way of managing it. So I guess that's the point I'm trying to make.
The Constitution Commission meets at Matanitomboa House in Navua on Friday. Fusita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Work on the Grand Old Lady is progressing well. Developers aim to have Suva's former icon, the Grand Pacific Hotel, ready by late next year. Shareholder FNPF today held a media tour and Ritika Pratap went along.
At 98 years old, she's getting a major facelift, but it's being done with the softest touch. Workers are already halfway through.
3 main development areas. On that side, which is a new development, that side is basically the conference facilities and the meeting rooms and the back of house, and this is the main one, which is really the restoration of the old structures. At this stage, most of the work are happening at the same time.
GPH was built in the colonial days, home to royalty, dignitaries and the social elite. But the vintage design and the Victorian architecture is proving difficult for upgrades.
Quite difficult process again. We've got to scabble back all the concrete cancer, replace any reinforcement, and then we've got a product out of New Zealand which has been used significantly around the world for restoration of historic buildings.
Developers have no doubt the Grand Pacific Hotel has much to give not only to Suva but to the whole of Fiji.
This building is iconic in itself, and having the business and government sectors here in Suva, and having this building as a legacy for the people of Fiji, I think that'll set it apart from other hotels in Suva.
What you see right now is scaffolding, wheelbarrows and cement blocks, the workings of any construction site. But in just over a year, Grand Pacific Hotel will return to her former glory as one of the most prestigious hotels in the South Pacific. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
For the first time, Fiji is hosting a Nobel Prize winner. He's Professor Akira Suzuki, who won a Nobel Prize for his research in chemistry. He's here by invitation from the University of the South Pacific. Shireen Lata reports.
Professor Suzuki is a leading chemistry professor and a Nobel Prize winner. It's not often we get a visit from such decorated academics. His public lecture last night drew a large crowd. Professor Suzuki believes Fiji can use its natural resources to tap into the medical and pharmaceutical industry.
One of the possibilities here, your country had a lot of many different kinds of the plants, because you had a lot of very warm and very, a lot of rain. So you had so many different kinds of plants in this area. So, but at this moment, nobody knows which the plant has a very useful, biologically interesting material.
Addressing future chemists, he says we have to aim high.
That is one of the most productive industry. I recommend your people here, young people here in Fiji, to have an interest to make such an industry. That is my hope. So I hope all young people is so, I always say be ambitious to find new knowledge and new things.
Professor Suzuki is here for USP's Open Day, and part of his visit includes speaking to the school students. Shireen Lata, FBC News.